Hi, and welcome to At Home Art Lessons with the Art Groupies. The Art Groupies help develop great art habits, and the habit we're going to work with today comes from Stretch. Stretch likes to play, he likes to experiment, and he likes to take risks. He likes to try things that he's never done before. He likes to explore. And what a perfect artist to explore with but Claude Monet. Claude Monet is an impressionist artist, and he was tired of seeing artists paint with dark colors and painting about history and religion. He wanted to paint about everyday life, things that just happened, and the way the sun fell and hit on objects, and the way the sun hit objects differently at different times of the day. He had his own Japanese garden, and he had beautiful water lilies, and he painted them over 200 times, like I said, at different times of the day. So we're going to be inspired today by using his water lilies for inspiration. Claude Monet loves to use lots of colors, and he uses short brush strokes. This is how he creates beautiful, magical, tranquil water lilies. We're going to start first by creating the water. And I'm going to use a technique called double loading. It's best to use a brush that's flat and has a square bristle tip instead of a round brush. But if you have a round brush, it'll work as well. So I'm going to first wash my brush. I'm going to dip half of my brush on one side in one color, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to dip the other side in another color. And when I paint my short little brush strokes, I get a double loaded paintbrush with double colors. And again, he loved to make these short little brush strokes. So after you run out of water and paint, dip away one side in one color and one side in another color. And just like Stretch, our art groupie for the day, play and have some fun. I'm going to dip it in, get a little bit more water, dip it in some purple, dip it in some turquoise, and voila, beautiful blended watercolor. Again, this is called double loading. Let me get some more water on my brush. One side in one color and the other side in another. Dab. And I'm going horizontally. I'm going side to side because water doesn't flow up and down. It flows from side to side. So we want to give that tranquil feeling of water moving and flowing by going side to side. If you go up and down, that's fine too. But for best results, you want to go side to side. Again, my famous artist is Claude Monet. And one thing that I learned about him in my research was that he started off as a caricaturist. He used to do caricatures of all of his school teachers. So he would draw these pictures, these funny pictures of them in his books instead of doing work, which I don't recommend you do. That's how he got known. And he started to work for the local paper, doing some caricatures of people in government and other people around the town. And that's how he started as an artist. And then he started to go outside and paint outside and be fascinated with the way the light hit different objects. So he would paint the same scene over and over again at different times of the day, because the light, when it hit, made the subject different because of the sunlight. So there, I'm done my water. Now I'm going to start to create my water lilies. So the lily pads and the water lily, I actually went ahead first and made my paper, and I tried to add some glitter. I don't know if you can see that. And I did that by just taking some Mod Podge. Now if you don't have Mod Podge, you can just use glue and add a little bit of water to it, brush it on, and add some glitter. Sprinkle that on, let it dry, and you get beautiful glittered paper. Okay, now a simple lily pad. Now my paper's small, so I have probably room enough for 3 lily pads and 3 lilies. So my lily, if you can see here, pad is like a simple circle. Doesn't have to be perfectly round. It should not be. And it has a little indentation because that's how the leaf of the lily pad kind of looks. So I'm just going to take my scissors, and I'm not going to worry too much about making it a perfect circle, but I do recommend that you probably decorate your paper first because it's much easier to work with if it's dry. Voila, I have a lily pad. I'll cut out one more. And I did 2 sides. I tried to put some oranges and some golds on my lily pad, just to give a variety and to play and to be like stretch. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Don't think I have enough green on here. And I used green paper because I thought it would be a nice contrast with my lily pads. If you don't have green paper, by all means, paint away. Make your own paper. So I have my 3 lily pads. I can use my Mod Podge again to glue my pieces to the water, or I can just use regular old Elmer's glue. Again, if you want to brush it on to add the glitter, just add a little bit of water to it and it brushes real easy. So I'll put one up here and I'll do another one down there. So I'm going to now create some lilies, and I make this simple lily shape by first starting out with the letter U. So on my colored paper, I make the letter U. Then I bring the sides in, make these 2 beautiful triangles for the petals, and then I make another triangle, just like the letter W. And then in the background for the other side of the petals, I add 2 more triangles. And then I take my scissors and I cut right on that line to cut out my lily. I tried to make a variety of colors for my lilies. I tried to use a dark pink and make that lily close to the foreground. My next lily is a little darker pink, not quite as dark as the first. And I'll put that one there. And then my final lily, which is going to be further back, I'm going to make a little lighter. And again, I'm going to use that letter U. Bring that line in, 2 triangles, and then another one in the middle for that W. Put some more triangles in the background. Use my scissors. Cut my U out and my triangles. Sometimes the lilies don't even have to really sit on top of the lily pad because they come up through the water. They don't come on the lily pad, but the lily pad usually is there for it to sit on. So I'll add some more glue for this guy to sit. Next thing I want to do is I want to add the center of my lily pad, and I just do that with using tissue paper. I rip it in half, crumple it up into a ball, and then add some glue. Voila, put it on there. Voila. Sprinkle up another piece. And there we have it. A beautiful picture of a tranquil pond with some lily pads. And again, we're working and inspired by Claude Monet's water lilies. He used lots of colors and short brush strokes. And the art groupie that we experimented and played with was Stretch. So thanks for joining me to make your water lilies. I hope you have fun. Can't wait to see them.